move my sponsorship away. It's like, no, don't show the logo. Anyway, hi, it is Monday night, and that is I love saying that it's a Monday night because that's usually when this will make sense in a minute when I do recap, but it's gonna be funny. Anyway, so welcome to Rise of Tiamat. This is a 5th edition module I run out of the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, published by this company that publishes games and whatnot. You know it.
Yep.
Anyway,
What do you think?
do we have any fun announcements before we get into tonight's hellscape?
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Oh, you go first. Please, you go first.
Oh, yeah, I know this announcement.
Please.
So this coming Sunday, before the Monday that we're not going to play, is someone's birthday.
It is. We have a birthday boy.
Not it.
It is you.
It is you.
Not.
You've been nominated. Sorry.
You have been nominated.
You are a token Leo.
Yep.
Habs birthdays.
Yes.
Yum.
We're gonna eat dinner, and he wants to go to a rage room.
We're gonna
Those-
smash things.
Those are
And-
so much fun.
Drive go
And maybe
karts.
and maybe also crash cards. Definitely crash cards.
Ooh. In the rage room at the same time?
Probably
While,
not.
while throwing axes at the same time.
Oh yeah, there's also axe
Yeah.
throwing. Yes.
So we're gonna throw
That's not
axes while racing on go karts and then smashing things in a rage room all at once.
I see no way in which this could go wrong.
It won't. It'll be great.
Nah.
Sounds like a perfect evening, if you ask me.
So
It
perfect.
sounds like a lot like what's about to happen in this game.
It honestly sounds like Dis and Grayson's first date,
Aw.
where Lynn and I
Well, then
wrote a
it's
high.
gonna go really well.
Well, when Lynn and I wrote a high school roleplay, their first date was literally stealing Grayson's mom's car and then setting it on fire at the beach.
How romantic.
Right? Isn't it great?
The flames of love.
Yeah, Dis just made Molotovs out of all of the, alcohol bottles in the back of his van and just like, here you go, throw it. Have
Ooh,
fun.
You got this shit to work out. Throw this.
It's beautiful.
I love that.
Anyway, so yes, happy birthday to Nick.
Birds.
Now, Jesus, you had an announcement?
Yes, not as epic and as cool as that. But letting everyone know that Friday, we're going to be at Excalibur, continuing our adventures with the Gamma World and D&D.
Nice.
So with our Savage World game, our A Rose Among the Tulips game, and our Adventure in the Forgotten Realms game.
Nice.
So no stream, but we'll be doing that. So please join us. It'll be fun. I mean, it's great activities.
Sounds like fun. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let us roll through announcements. Not announcements. We just did announcements through introductions. I'm so excited to just let you guys crash this castle and then I can be done with this game.
Next
So-
time you're all gonna die.
Yeah.
I was like, and you all die the end. So, hi, I'm Vic. I will be your DM for the evening and slowly losing my hair over every decision that my players make.
Seems fitting.
Anyway, sharing somewhere somewhere downstairs because she doesn't want to sit in the same room with me anymore.
It's not my fault.
It's not her fault.
I'm gonna internalize it
Well, just
'cause
shove
I'm a
that down.
Cancer. Because I'm a Cancer.
Oh.
Sorry, I
Happy.
just saw something run out the window and it scared the shit out of me. I don't know what it was.
As long as it was not a person or whatever. Anyway,
Anyways, hi everybody. I am Tabitha. I will be playing Patience / Rosemary, the Tiefling Sorcerer / Ranger.
very nice, very nice. Jesus, who are you playing today?
Hi everybody, I am playing Tarsius Chadington. He's a Minotaur barbarian fighter who wants to do good boy activities. And sometimes to be a good boy, you gotta smash some things.
Oh wow, perfect timing. And next up on the roster, hey Jeremiah, who are you playing?
I'm playing Cordelia Chadington, fighter, blood hunter, rogue. I always need my character sheet to remember all those.
I'm so glad you're doing your homework because I'm not.
Yeah.
And for our local babysitter for hire, hey Nick, who are you playing?
Hello there. I'm going to be playing Myria. She is a fairy, cleric, and rune knight. And she is very tired.
Yes, and very tired of this. And our most traumatized for last, hey Sydney, who are you playing?
I am Sydney. I will be playing Nicodemus D. Hawkins, the human rune knight paladin of Bahamut.
Very
And
good.
yes, we are Twama.
I can't wait to add to it.
Oh.
Okay, so let's.
You can fit
Go
so much trauma in that bad boy.
Oh, you have no idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll that intro.
All right.
I feel like it's like when the car salesman like smacks the hood of the car, except that's just like Hawk's ass. Like you can fit so much trauma in this bad boy.
It's not
And
running.
Hawk's like, please stop.
Oh, intro's not running.
Oh no.
Oh no, someone.
Did everybody
do
just hear that?
Mhm.
Oh no.
Nice.
Yikes.
We love that. Well, we don't have to do an intro. It's just usually for people that need to run fast. Oh, perfect.
It's running on a small window.
Like everyone look to. No,
It's
God.
fine.
Sneezing when your face is right in front of
Yeah,
me.
please. If this is a public service announcement, please make sure that your face is clear of all work surfaces if you're going to be sneezing at a very uncontrolled volume.
Remember to remove your D-force when you're sneezing.
Yes,
Yes, no hospital visits, please.
please no. Tabby, cover
Wait.
your D-force.
I thought we had punch cards.
Yeah, we have
a
a-
punch card. The next time two other people get it, we get ice
If we
cream.
have, if we have 4 people visit within the year, then we go get ice cream.
And that's just because Nick and I both went to the emergency room within 2 weeks of each other.
Yep.
Well,
We're both
Fun
fine.
stuff.
Yes.
So,
For the record, we're both fine.
yeah.
all right, let's run through recap, and we're just gonna riff it because I have no notes on my screen because this is what my players do to me when they decide to do things. So I'm like, anything that was gonna happen, I'm like, massive scale army battles, like all of these like political factions, just bye. But it's fine. It is fine.
D&D
That's the fun.
tends to be-
That is the fun. That is actually the fun part about D&D because I'm like, look at all this that I don't have to do now. I love that. We're gonna just nuke it. Okay, so for recap, we are going to do a little thing where this is where I wish I had a soundboard. So I'm going to need someone to
Gonna
give
mute
me
myself
some
real
like
quick.
I need like some like sports music brass in the background. Just imagine that right now.
Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum,
Yeah,
ba-da-bum,
perfect.
ba-da-bum.
Sure, that works too. So,
That might be.
it is Monday night, and I am coming to you live from the Feed PN, which is the Fey Extraplanar Entertainment and Death. The P is a placeholder network. So it's like it is currently pregame right now. We have, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adventurers, 6 if you count their dog, that are going to challenge the dragon goddess Tiamat. So what do you think about this play, Beerus?
Honestly, I think it could be a bit better. I mean, their idea isn't a bad one, but yeah, where they're going to be dropping it might be less effective than they're expecting.
Yes, that's right. For anyone just tuning in, our five heroes, 6 plus the dog, are planning on taking a Sky Giant's castle and dropping it over what is known as the Well of Dragons, which is an active volcano that Tiamat herself will be arising out of to lay waste to all humanity. I will say it is quite the risky move, but I will say for those that are are currently running bets, you might want to switch up your teams. So, you guys are like I suddenly got a notification. I'm like, hello.
Hello.
So,
Lynn talking shit.
our fun extravaganza for this evening is you guys are planning on dropping a Sky Giant castle on top of the Well of Dragons. You
Forgot about
spoke
that.
your piece
Yeah.
to the King Blagothkis, who is the king of the Sky Giants, who this running like flying castle is basically powered by the spirit of his dead wife. And you were basically asking him to sacrifice that in order to save the world, which is a fair, that's a fair thing to ask, more or less.
Still feels bad.
Still feels a little bad,
Yeah.
but it's like
Yeah.
either loser now or loser in like the next 24 hours because everything's going to be busted.
Mm.
Or have her stolen from you and used by someone other than yourself,
That is true.
which could be worse.
That could be. So he asked for you to give him some time to think these things over, and also to let the ancient white dragon, Glazhail, know, the one that is currently paying rent living in this sky castle.
Yep.
So that's what you guys are going to be doing. As I'm going to switch the map over. I forgot to put music on. Alright. So pop you guys back onto Skyreach Castle. As you had just exited out of the main chamber where the power source is, where Blagothkis' throne room also resides. You are met in the courtyard by the 4 remaining ancient metallic dragons, who had just managed to kind of find the castle and use it as kind of a base of operations now, since that is where they've managed to locate you. Saying that they are pledging, their help to all of you. As along with Patience's surrogate dragon mother, Shervithia, who is an ancient green dragon. So you guys are currently on the courtyard, which is the upper part of the castle, and Glazhail's chambers are going to be found through the lower courtyard, as there's going to be a tunnel that leads into his lair, where you cannot see it. No, I don't want that. Forgot I had the Fog of War tool on. But that is also where he keeps his massive hoard of treasure as well. So, which Janva would show you the way to the tunnel so that you can meet Glazhail, and she would be kind of coaching you through it as you're walking, where she's just like, all right, just remember, while he is in his twilight years, as we will say, he is still a dragon. He carries much pride with him. He is blind. I will tell you that now. But don't look him in the eye. Dragons kind of have a sense for that. But he has excellent hearing.
Okay.
So, and she will lead you in. Yeah.
So he heard us talking up here. Is he hearing us now?
Well, he doesn't have that good of hearing. That would require him to be able to listen through hundreds of feet of stone and ice, and that would be quite the feat if he could.
That's true.
Or like nudge Cordelia. Like, I know moms don't have that ability. You can hear through anything.
That's also true.
Yes, mothers generally tend to be able to hear anything and everything around them.
As Janva will just kind of give a little sigh at that and nod, and then just, all right. And she'll kind of like motion you all to the tunnel. As you guys are walking through the tunnel, it's dark and it is very cold. It feels like it is carved out of pure ice itself. And you kind of have this, like, there's like this blue undertone to the tunnel itself, as it just seems to be kind of light, kind of bouncing off from like both ends of where the tunnel leads and where it goes. And then eventually you see kind of like a bend, and then there's a break, as the first thing that you all see is gold scattered like from every square foot of this floor, like a carpet. And then it just kind of like mounds up in different like piles, like more treasure than you could ever hope to like comprehend. Like, this is the kind of treasure that you would hear about, like, for Tarsius and Cordelia, like what Cal and West would tell you about in their journeys. Like the kind of treasures that you would like envision in your head when they're talking about like different dungeons that they've been to. Like it's the kind of amount of gold that you would like envision a duck swimming through. So
Perfect.
a very rich, very Scottish duck.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, and then sitting kind of draped over these mountains of gold, you see these huge stark white scales that, for most dragons, you know that they have kind of like this this lustrous sheen to them, but these look more matted and faded, like, you know, old stones. And then you hear this chuff that just kind of like echoes through the chamber. And then from the mountain rises this gargantuan head that kind of swivels in your direction. And it's, Myria, if it wasn't for the fact that you've already been inside the mouth of a gargantuan dragon, it would be quite a sight for you. But you've witnessed this, so it's a little more, okay. But still, he is no less impressive as he is, you know, massive. As he kind of breathes in your direction, and it just kind of like blows like some of y'all's hair back. Myria, you kind of try to keep yourself, you know, floating in place. As he kind of rumbles.
Cold in here?
It's very cold.
I know I have that jacket that
Yes.
Uncle Kyle gave me, but I guess I'm feeling the cold still.
Yeah, like
some
despite
way.
wearing this nice, like cozy coat, you can still the other parts of your body that are still exposed definitely feel the coldness.
Mhm.
As the dragon will kind of rumble out, Janva. What morsels did you bring me? John, but just kind of like looks to you. Tarsius just shakes her head.
Looking down, but I'm waving. Don't look at him in the eye, but still be polite. Hello.
He kind of like you can see like his like these eyes that would be like electric blue are just kind of like milky and kind of have the dragon version of cataracts.
Aww.
As you see like the third eyelid just kind of like flip over and blink as he kind of like turns his head slightly to like look at you. It's like, what have you brought me? And why is one of them flailing?
Put my hand and
What?
be still.
Oh.
It's just because Tarsius was waving, even though he's a blind dragon.
Aww.
I'm just waving high.
Jonva will kind of clear her throat, just kind of like looking down at her feet, like, oh boy, here we go. Lord Glashale, these adventurers are here to propose a plan to King Blagothkis in order to put an end to Tiamat's arrival into the material realm. And they have asked something of him, and they would like to do you the grace of asking you yourself. She's gonna look to all of you like, okay, guys.
Like, go ahead.
Alright, your turn.
It's your mom. You ask if you can sleep over.
Yeah.
So
You ask, she'll say yes.
Myria's gonna flutter forward a little bit and and give a nice bow. Although she knows that he can't see,
Yeah.
it's still polite to do.
You'll see as his nostrils flare, and you're gonna feel like a sudden suction of air, and then he just kind of like expels the air back at you. Ah, it has been some time since I have smelled the Feywild.
The Feywild definitely misses the kind of ancient dragons. It's too quiet without them.
Yes, I do quite miss those sunsets.
They are certainly a beautiful sight. But that is not why I am here. As much as it would be a joy of mine to bring you across the different planes and let you be amongst the Fae again, it unfortunately is not my job at this point. I'm here because we have a bit of a plan, as the young lady had spoken of. As you know, Tiamat is coming. It's almost an inevitability at this point. One of the young dragons, young ancient dragons, has ascended and can potentially bring Tiamat back to this realm. So we're hoping to be able to put a stop to it in one fell swoop. But in order to do that, we need the castle and your home.
And may I ask what this castle plays into this plan?
Essentially, death. We're hoping to use it to kill everything and anything around the well, and if nothing else, the well itself.
And when you say that, it almost feels like he's expelling an icy breath at you, but it's just the sound of him laughing as these gusts of like cold wind kind of like expel from his mouth as he chuffs loudly, and you see as his lips curl back, and you see teeth that are much taller than you, Myria, bared, as he's
That's
giving
not
this very as he's giving this very this almost like it's a very malice-filled grin in a way. Like it's kind of like a predator baring its teeth to show, what he is capable of. But there is a laugh behind it. You wish to send this castle, my lair, my riches, down upon Tiamat's head.
Indeed. And we're
Now
hoping to have help to do it.
Wow. And then he just kind of gives a growl. That Cormoranth. I never liked him. Ambitions such as his are a stain on dragons.
Aye, and his mouth hygiene isn't exactly the best either.
You are quite the fearsome warrior to have encountered Cormoranth so closely and survived.
The little sprat over there managed to pull us both out, but we were inside of his mouth for a little bit. Threw a bomb down his throat and made him puke.
Good. And then he'll kind of swivel his head, and then you feel like the floor itself shake as he kind of like lays his chin down to not exactly be eye to eye since his head towers far over everybody else, but
I mean, Myria could go eye to eye.
he could, yeah, you could. But he kind of like lays his head down to where the very like point of his snout looks in your direction, Patience. As you're basically looking down the barrel of a very large, scaly predator with binocular vision, just looking at you. Like, yes,
Glass
What'd you say?
Hill, sir. Hello, Glass Hill, sir.
And when he talks, it's just like you feel like the wind kind of like pushing you back slightly.
Ugh.
Hello, small one. I can smell Cormoranth's curse upon you. And for that I am sorry.
It's not your fault.
But still, take pride that you carry the future of dragonkind with you. And to know that you will, hopefully, make a bigger impact than he ever wishes he could. For he is old like me, and like all things that are old, must one day be left behind.
She'll nod, but when he mentioned the whole thing of like you carry the future of dragonkind, he just looks down at Gren.
Who's just sitting there trying to
That's what.
he's like, if you've ever seen a cat like in full spooky cat mode, that's what he's doing right now. Like back arching as much as he can. Just like very still.
Which she's just gonna like
Little
down in draconic
ear fins like
nice.
flared out. He's just like still.
Yeah, she's literally like just like be nice. That's
Roll me an animal handling. If you rolled, I cannot hear
Oh
you.
shit! I just
There you are.
closed out of her page.
Nope.
No, I closed out of her page.
Whoops.
No, I closed out of her page. So oops.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Animal handling.
Yes.
It rolled around on the 20 and then it went to a 4, so that's a 7.
Oh. So you try to like coax Gren, and he just kind of like immediately he tries to like lean forward to your hand, but then like Glasshail gives another exhale from his nostrils, and then he just kind of like goes back and then just like skitters like to the far back wall, and just like he doesn't want to leave you, but he's also like trying to stay as far away from this big dragon as he can. And Glasshail will chuckle, and it's just like, he chooses when he knows when it's the right time to be brave. As I can sense the blood of many enemies on his teeth. It has been so long since we've seen a gemstone return to the material plane. And that's what gives me hope for this world. Perhaps it can heal.
Are dragons like Gren really that rare?
Once upon a time, there used to be many different kinds. Dragons were able to come and go from various realms whenever they wished, and then the gods intermingled and chose to believe they were more important than, everything else. And thus, with these gods of elves and dwarves and humans and devils, they brought their own pride amongst the living, and here we are. And it's a shame that Tiamat herself was also tainted by the minds of and inner workings of these creatures, because now she claims she is a proud dragon, but now she acts more like one of your human gods in terms of ego, which is saying a lot for something like me.
So basically, what I'm hearing is that with the ages that have gone past, as the young sprat whippersnapper over there has said, she's just become a bitch.
Oh, the biggest one you will ever know.
I just immediately
And
go
that's-
over to Hawk. You got him Joe for saying that word.
I'm allowed to say it because she is my mother.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Hawk, like, I feel like I need to apologize then. To you, not your mom.
No need. There is no need to apologize for truth being spoken.
I mean, she seemed to take that personal.
As she does with many. I will apologize on her behalf for getting you betwixt all of this?
I mean, if we weren't the ones to do it, someone else would, and who knows how well that would go. Hell, who knows how well it's going to go for us.
I'd say it's been boring staying in here.
Well then, do you care to raid the castle with us and drop a bomb on top of Tiamat's head?
Very much so.
Ooh.
Let's go kick some arse.
I will say that to be a dragon as old as I, dying laying on your belly amongst your riches is a shameful death. I deserve to see battle one more time.
Well, let's hope that what you're seeing is Cormorant's skull split in twain.
I cannot wait to sink my teeth into my brother's neck.
Cannot wait to see it.
All right. So with that, you're free to move about the cabin.
Okay.
As he seems pretty ready and primed for battle.
Yeah.
Myria wants to go talk to the other dragons if she can get a chance to.
Sure, you can absolutely do that. Is there anything else anybody's going to be doing in the meantime as this castle is at cruising altitude? No? Bueller?
The seatbelt sign is off.
Yes, the seatbelt sign is off. The no smoking sign is on. The flight attendants have designated that your exits are everywhere around you, but just know that we are cruising at about several 100,000 feet in the air.
Well,
Whatever is the comfortable cruising altitude of something that isn't going to make you asphyxiate due to atmosphere.
Cordelia's just gonna be like a curious cat, I guess.
Okay.
She will do a bow, not looking at
Alright.
his eyes, and make her leave, and just walk around the castle, look in the rooms, be Snoopy.
All right, be Snoopy. Be cool, Joe. Got it.
I mean, I'm gonna be knocking if there's somebody in there. I was like, oh,
Of course.
sorry. But
Yeah.
yeah, just snooping around the castle.
Yeah, there's plenty of places to peruse, and I will say you can roll me an investigation.
That's a high roll. That is a 25.
25? Okay. Nice. Very nice. Okay. I mean, a floating castle is definitely not a creature. As I'm being asked something on messages. Alright, let me go ahead and grab... Alright, so Cordelia, as you are moving around, kind of like snooping through the Sky Giant's castle, you will find like areas that would be considered like individual rooms for like troops to be staying in. And you'll find that some of these were kind of made in a makeshift manner. So to accommodate for a much smaller races than giants, as this has been utilized as a floating fortress for the armies opposing Tiamat at this point. So you'll find like barracks for people to like travel through. You will find like the kitchen area where there's not a lot going on. It's just kind of like cold storage at this point, where you'll find like meats and like fruits and like spices, seasonings, all that stuff. You will find there will be a area that is considered the I forgot the word and I hate it. Stables. You'll find an area that would be considered stables, but when you're kind of like looking through it, you'll see that these aren't stables for horses. They look like they would have been for much larger creatures. And after some kind of like, not really like touching anything at the stables, but you kind of like notice kind of, and you nudge it with like your boot when you see something poking out of the hay, and it looks like it's kind of like a shedding of a wyvern tail.
Oh.
So there were wyverns being kept here at some point.
Yep.
Okay. I'm finding cool stuff.
So, and I'm gonna have you roll me a 1, 3. I'm counting my tables. Roll me a d10, and if you roll a 10, you can re-roll.
It fell. I'll roll another die. 4.
Okay. I answer a question real quick. Okay. 2, 3, 4, and roll me a d100.
Oh. 98.
98. So, this is fun. So you're kind of like snooping around, looking through all those different things, and then as you're kind of like walking through, you find an area. You find like a little tower that looks like it has been recently repaired. There was a lot of damage done to it. It looked like, and there's still some rubble kind of like sitting out in the courtyard from it, but it looks like a very large, probably prehistoric creature had crashed through the wall and like busted it open. But it looks like you found kind of like a tower that contained different like it looked like it was used for like a wizard study.
Okay.
And as you're kind of like looking through there, you notice that there is a it's like I'm gonna love this, but you kind of like on the like amongst like all of like the knickknacks, it looks like most of it was cleared out at this point, but looking kind of like hidden amongst like some of like the stuff that was stuffed into a box for junk, you see you see kind of like the neck of a bottle sticking out from like the like kind of like mixed in with like all this like scrap paper and like kind of like just like a junk box.
I mean, I'm curious. I will
Okay.
use my gauntlet hand, the one with the gauntlets on it, and I'm gonna
All
just
right.
poke it. I'm gonna poke it and then try
Right.
to, like, using one finger, like I'm gonna move it up to see if, because I'm cautious, kind of. I don't want it to explode on me.
That's fine. And you poke it, and then you hear like a sloshing in it,
Oh.
and nothing happens.
I will grab it and then kind of, I guess, see what it is.
Okay, so you grab it, and it looks like it is a potion, hasn't been used.
Oh.
And for the sake of you knowing, it is a potion of speed.
Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
Isn't that like a potion of speed is like haste, right?
A potion of
Basically.
speed. Let me. Up. Yeah, so you gain the effects of haste for 1 minute, no concentration required. So it is
Dang.
a yellow fluid streaked with black swirls that just kind of like mingle through it.
Okay.
So it's like when you find one of those like bottles that has like the edible glitter on the inside, and you see it kind of like mixing together and like swirling around. That's what you see.
Okay. Cool. I am backing it and showing it to everybody when I see them.
There you go. All right. So
I'm also gonna look at the bottom. I guess it's like
sure.
make sure that there's no property of this and that.
Oh yeah,
Be stealing.
yeah. You look at the bottle at the bottom of the bottle, and it just has the expiration date. Still good.
Oh, okay. I don't want to be stealing at anybody. And I guess
No.
when I go out, I'll ask. Is there other random people here other than us, basically?
So besides you, you have Spud, you have Janva, Gala, Cole. There's also Shervithia, who is the ancient green dragon, and then you have the remaining metallics. So you have the silver, the brass, the bronze, and the copper.
Okay.
Which at this point, I will say, Myria, you are going to go talk to them. So we will have Cordelia come in at the end of this conversation, as Cordelia, you would have been exploring around during this.
Yeah.
So, Myria, you went to go seek out the metallics. As they would all be kind of just lounging on the castle, just in their draconic forms. I just have them all the same size because it is a small map. So
You're fair.
but they are all in their full draconic glory, just hanging out.
Dear dragons, it'd be an honor if I could have a word with you.
And they will the silver one will nod their head, just speak.
So I'm fairly certain that you have been apprised of the situation and the plan that is to come forth within the coming, I don't know how long until we get there. But the intended plan is to essentially drop this entire mountain castle on top of the head of Tiamat and Cormorant, using it as a sort of bomb.
Yeah, and the copper one, as she kind of sits there, she'll kind of lace her claws together in front of her. Just, yes, the nervous horned one told us.
Yeah, nervous is a word for him for sure. My reason for being here is to ask if we could actually get some of your help with that. Because we have the big man downstairs. He is joining the fight.
Oh,
He can't wait.
Glashail wishes to see blood again.
Oh, he wishes to see Cormorant split in twain.
Oh. Well, this is a collaboration that will prove very fruitful.
In that regard, this thing is going to be dropped on top of the mountain. The Well of Souls, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I think we could probably help it out with getting it going a little bit faster if the four of you helped speed it up, per se. And the magic's lifted and this thing just falls. If y'all wouldn't mind adding some force to it and pushing it down faster, potentially would do more damage. Not suggesting that you all stay with it to the very end. Just get it to them as fast as you think is safe and get the hell out before it hits.
And what about you?
I mean, I could fly.
Yes, when your party cannot.
That is true. Still have to talk to them about that, but we'll figure out a way to get off the rock here, one way or the other.
Well, you tell us when it is time.
That one is, I'm waiting to see where the heck we are. Because quite frankly, I still don't know. We're flying too high for me to be able to see the ground.
Yeah.
But
The brass one will kind of lift his nose to the sky and just kind of scent it. I can taste the ash of the well. We will be there soon.
lovely.
It's
All right.
it's currently onward to evening, so by morning you will have approached
That is
your
fair.
destination.
If we cannot figure out a way to get off of this rock without all the rest of us being saddled with our imminent demise, would it be possible to be able to request a ride from the lot of you to help my friends out? Because as much as I can fly, I can grab one of them. I can't grab 7 or 8 of them.
And they just kind of like look amongst each other. And there's like kind of like a tense moment where they're speaking amongst themselves in Draconic. But you kind of get you get the gist that it's because you asked them to carry people, and
I know, that's why it was tense.
yeah. To which it is pretty much common knowledge for everybody to know that dragons don't carry riders. That is something that they pride themselves on as, you know, this ancient proud race.
I do not mean to offend.
As there will be, and let me roll a thing. Alright, so as the copper one, she'll kind of like turn back to you, and she'll kind of like raise a clawed hand, just like, it is not you that offends us, I promise. But as you know, to have dragons reduced to transportation.
Which is why this is the last thing that I really wanted to ask, but it's kind of a last-ditch effort if everything else goes awry. Because if we can't make it off here, you lot and the white one downstairs would be left to fight Cormorant and whatever left alive at the well.
Perhaps discuss with your flock.
I can do that. Just
And
thought
if
I'd ask just to make certain.
And if no answers are brought to the surface, then we will speak again.
I thank you for your kindness.
And they'll kind of like dip their heads to you.
And Myria will do a low bow.
And Cordelia, that's when you come in at the end of this conversation as you come walking out with your new find.
Is everybody up here, or is it just?
Yeah, what would Tarsius, Hawk, and Patience be up to?
I know what Tarsius is doing, but I can wait.
Since we're cruising at altitude, we're probably looking for the person with the snacks. Because we are nervous and we need something to do. And if not snack, then we're just gonna lay down somewhere and contemplate our existence while staring at a ceiling.
I will say, as you would have kind of meandering about looking for, kind of like looking for like the nervous snackies, you instinctively go to your bag just to see maybe if you had some any like extra rations left over. And when you open your bag and kind of like put your hand in, you feel a little like kind of like a wrapped like container, like in like a little handkerchief. And when you pull it out and open it up, you see that it is a slice of Aunt Betsy's cherry pie. And she would have kind of like dreamed up some snacks into your bags.
That's adorable.
So everyone has a slice of her cherry pie in their bag right now.
Oh.
And it will count as a full meal.
Nice.
Hawk's sitting here eating this, crying a lot.
Oh, it is very...
But probably, as far as he's concerned, this is probably the last thing he's ever going to eat.
It is so warm, too. Like, it is still warm.
Yeah, that's what he'd do then. Yeah, he'd find a place to kind of sit around. He'd eat his pie and, yeah, get a little misty about it because, yes, it very well could be the last thing he eats, and yeah, I think he might actually even go like to one of the outdoor portions of the place.
Okay.
Because I feel like we did that last time, and just kind of lay out and watch the clouds.
I will say you can find many points to like kind of perch yourself. There are these like high walled ramparts that you can like walk along, and you kind of like settle yourself like at the front gate of the castle, just kind of sitting there and just watching the clouds pass by. And then like every now and then you see sliver of ground just thousands upon thousands of miles below you, and it is very peaceful. It is cold, but the pie keeps you warm. Oh.
Hello?
Oh, bug?
Did you get it?
No, with a moth.
Oh,
Oh.
alright. So, Hawk, you'll be sitting there enjoying your pie, looking at the clouds, crying silently to yourself.
I'm gonna die.
That happens.
Yep.
Alright, Tarsius, what would you have been doing?
I am looking for pebbles and small little stones.
There's plenty to find amongst here. Like, there's still some, like, scattered rubble from the last battle.
Going to the edge of any part of the castle and just going. Oh. Oh. Yeah, oh god, far. Oop, can't make that one.
As he calculates
this
his
is
superhero
funny.
landing.
This is funny.
Be like, be careful with that. That could hit a person and they will die.
Oh no! Oh no! They'll feel bad.
It's like
I
one
will
of those
say,
things
if
where
you
you
roll
watch,
percentiles
like,
and you actually roll a 1, then yes, you hit someone.
Fuck.
Those are
Like
your
if-
odds.
one of those experiments when it's like, oh yeah, we dropped this penny off of an 80-story building.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll say this will be someone's next D&D character's tragic backstory. My dad was hit with a rock that came from the sky, and now I'm going to fight the sky.
82. Okay.
82. Yeah, you're good. You're clear.
Now I want.
Thankfully,
revenge.
no one was hit. Yes.
Alright. Grab all those pebbles. Okay. No more pebbles.
No more pebbles.
No more
All
pebbles.
right.
Okay.
All right, so you're doing that. Patience, what would you have been up to?
So funny enough, as you're describing the whole thing with Tarsius, like dropping the stones off. Meanwhile, Patience is just walking along on the, I guess, the stones that are basically not the that's not the word I'm looking for. Basically, the perimeter, just kind of walking it, just not caring that it's God knows how many feet in the air, giving Cole probably a heart attack.
Yeah, you're giving your father palpitations. As he's just like, Rosemary, please get down.
I have fly, I'm fine.
Yes, but do you really want to expend your magic right now? And what are the... Also, what happens if there are the odds that your magic just kind of mucks up while you're casting it? You know that happens. That has happened.
She's immediately changing just the subject, just like, so what do you want to do when this is all over and whatnot?
I'm gonna have you roll me an acrobatics if you're very purposefully, like, walking along the parapets.
Yes.
It's time for parapet.
19.
Okay. So, you get your god complex for another day. You're welcome. So, as you're kind of like hopping, and you've at this point kind of like reached a you've kind of now kind of like know the wind resistance and whatnot, and you know how like whenever there's like a gap in the parapet, you kind of like do a little hop over, and you manage to
She's treating it probably like hopscotch, let's be freaking real.
Sorry, I had to read that. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. So,
Wait, what?
that's fun.
What?
Okay. Well, what's great is after this, I was going to call for a break because the DM needs to use the little DM room. But that's fine.
Yeah.
So, all right. So after, so you asked, what do you want to do after all this? And Cole says, well, hopefully make it back home with you, your new friend, and your father and Basil. So that way we can live far away from any of these messes as a nice, happy family.
I would like that, actually.
Yes, you deserve to live out your childhood as a child. Like, I want you to be able to, run amok, get dirty, but, reasonably so. Explore and, experience the world in a way that doesn't hurt you.
She's gonna open her mouth and just close it, just like, yeah.
Yeah. He'll, at this point, he kind of stops fretting over you, like, hopping the parapets, and he just kind of, like, walks up to you, and he'll kind of, like, put a hand on your shoulder, not to stop you, but just to kind of, like, turn you to him, and then he'll put his other hand on your other shoulder, and he kind of, like, looks up at you, very earnestly, and he says this very seriously, but there's a lot of emotion, like, held back in his voice. I want you to be able to have the kind of childhood I was thankful to have for some parts of it. Having a family that cares about you very much, being able to learn and explore things to the best of your ability, because I want to be there to support you through whatever it is you choose to do with yourself.
And I would very much like that, Dad.
And then he'll pull you into a hug.
I'm pretty certain she's a little bit, it's muffled, and she's just gonna mutter out, just, I'm not mad at you for what happened,
I know. But I'm sorry anyway.
Yeah, she'll hug it back, just also trying not to get emotional.
So he'll just kind of like he'll hold you close to him, and he just kind of like puts his head on the back of your head, his hand on the back of your head, as he holds on to you, and just very like kind of like into your shoulder. He just kind of says, you're my little girl, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you again.
Yeah, she'll just nod. And we're trying not to cry.
Okay. And he'll hold you there until the moment calls for you both to break apart, and he kind of helps you off the parapet and just looks over. I think I see Myria kind of looking for people, so I think we should go see what's going on.
Okay.
Saw she was speaking with the dragons earlier, and I don't know how well that went. I haven't quite mastered reading dragon lips yet.
You don't know Draconic? She's
Sure.
gonna look at him.
I'm sure he knows Draconic, maybe. I don't have his character sheet, so I'm just gonna say yeah, maybe. But
I
no,
don't
it's
think he
I know
knows Draconic.
I know how to read lips. It's just when they have more elongated snouts, it's harder to see what vowels they're sounding out. It's different. So, and he'll just take your hand, and then he'll just he takes your hand and he just kind of like gives you like a little jostle with it, like,
Aw.
you're such a smart ass. But I know you get it from me. A little bit.
Nick
He'll-
just, yeah.
just a little. And then he'll just he'll walk you down to the courtyard where everybody is meeting. Cordelia will be coming out with her find. Tarsius, you'll kind of like you're taking a break from your rock throwing after you thought about, oh wait, that might hit someone, and then now you're like cycling through the panic of what if I did? I have blood on my hands now. And so you just go take a walk back to everybody.
1,000 yards.
So we're gonna take a little break there so we can let puppies out, everyone can go potty, and
Yeah.
we'll be right back and
Yeah.
see what your plan of action is, get some sleep, and then maybe drop a castle. So
do it.
Yeah.
Yay.
let's do it.
Right.
Alright. See you in a bit.
Hey guys, welcome to Hot Girl Crit. I am one of your hosts, Carice, with my co-host,
Hi, I'm Jesus. I'm the other person in the room.
the other hot girl. Welcome. This is kind of a new thing that we're working on. It's gonna be our new show for the channel.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss things that are controversial. You know, how Ronald Reagan was the devil and how capitalism is ruining everything.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan is definitely somewhere in the Nine Hells.
I suspect Ronald Reagan is actually Asmodeus.
I think he's worse, to be honest, but I digress.
Yeah, we're actually going to be discussing tabletop RPG stuff and Dungeons and Dragons, mostly a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Anything that involves clicky-clackies of the math variety.
We play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, we do. So please watch all of our Hot Girls Crit stuff, because if you're on this show, you're a hot girl. If you're listening, you're a hot girl.
Beware the gelatinous cube. Look at this poor bloke. That's his femur sticking out. He tried to stab him. Made him mad. That's his shield. It's melty.
Hey. So,
Welcome to DNC After Dark.
yeah, welcome to the After Dark hours. So, anyway, as we are on our last hour right now, you guys all kind of reconverge in the courtyard. After having your various moments, Cordelia, you have a moment to show everyone the find that you have found.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just tell them, like, hey, look, I saw this. I hope this. I'm not stealing someone's potion, but I kind of found this in that room.
And she will all show you the potion of speed that she found.
Ooh, sparkly.
Seems like it'd be a good thing for you to keep.
If no one wants it, I'll keep it.
Yeah, I mean, finders, keepers. Those the
Or I guess I'll keep it in my
As-
bag. If somebody wants it, I can always give it to them.
As stated in the Chadington Adventuring Handbook, listed under Rule 3 of subsection A, it goes to, for those that find treasure within the dungeon, finders, keepers. And then there's like a little asterisk, and then you go to the asterisk where it has the extra definition at the bottom, losers, weepers. But in the off chance of a dispute of finders keepers, such things can be resolved through a quick eeny meeny miny mo.
I can actually really see that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's published. Alright, so Cordelia, you have the potion of speed to use at your behest.
Okay.
And then Myria, you have your encounter with the dragons to explain to everyone.
Yeah. So first things first, Myria's gonna be like, so we're dropping the castle on top of the fucking the dragons. I can fly. I can probably take the short stack there. But what the fuck are the rest of you gonna do? How are y'all getting off this place without ending up as piles of rubbish with the castle?
Hawk, like,
I-
I don't think I am.
I could do a teleportation circle.
Where would you drop us?
You just see her kind of just sit there and think, I have a place I can think of that would be close by.
Could the castle drop us off and then go back up?
Then it would be kind of pointless, wouldn't it? You'd lose all the momentum and the element of surprise.
You get us close to the well without being on the castle.
Alright.
I could actually probably get us into the Red Gate without having to us lose the element of surprise.
Isn't the red gate attached to the well?
It's kind of like along the path. So it's one of those, and let me go to the map. Get over here. Okay. Alright, so you guys are heading. So right there. Well of Dragons. The red gate is going to be in the Skull Gorge.
Got it. How far away from the Well of Dragons is the red gate? Or would we be able to get to the well fast enough?
So it's one of those where it's going to be within like a few miles of the well.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So it's a good like 20-30 minute like run to the well.
But wouldn't the point kind of be that if we drop the castle on the well, as much as it scares me to say, we do need to take out Cormorant?
We do, and we have some allies for that.
Which it has been stated that Cormorant is a key element in the ritual. That from what you guys have scribed, they are underway of preparing right now. So it seems very likely that Cormorant is going to be at the well when you guys choose to drop it.
we have the big white dragon below us, and the rest of the metallics plan to help as well. So if we can get off of this rock and meet them there after, as soon after as we can, of the castle plummeting, then we should have some allies for fighting the red beastie. Are you sure you're going to be able to get us off this rock?
As long as I have time to prepare it, I can do it.
Alright. Well, once we get overhead of the well, we're going to drop this castle. Basically just going to plummet like a falling stone.
Mm-hmm.
And I have asked the metallics to give it a push, if you wouldn't, and help it along, give it some more speed, do some more damage. So we're gonna be coming in hot, so we're gonna need to really move once we get to that teleport place, because we don't want to leave our friends here to fight a battle alone when we told them we were going to be right behind them.
I gotcha.
And how many can this here teleport spell of yours take? Because There's
Literally
5 of
think
us, but there's
believe
also everyone else.
Let me double check that. How many
Which
can she
Janva
take?
will state, don't worry about us. We have our own means of getting off of this rock.
You know what we didn't ask? How the fuck is the big white bastard gonna get off of this rock without dying?
He can fly.
I was about to say, I'd assume he could fly.
I don't know. He's fucking ancient. We never asked. John, but do you know?
I mean, it's been some years since he's, been active. He's mostly been cooped up in his lair, but if he's agreed to join the fight, then we're going to just assume that he has a plan of action.
Alright, that works. Well, then I guess all that's left is to get a good night's sleep, because soon enough we're going to be fighting everything.
And Cole will shake your hand, Patience, as he was standing there holding it, and look to you. I think now would be the best time to find a place that you're going to set your teleport circle. Might as well do it now, so when the time's right, you know where to go.
Gotcha. So she would probably pretty much be working on that. It does not mention how many people, because it's literally like
8.
people just go through it. Oh, 8?
8 people.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're able to transport up to 8 yourself and 8 willing creatures that you can see
Okay.
within range. So.
Well, there you go.
So, do you have a place where you're going to put your teleportation circle?
She would pretty much like put it in like a big enough space.
Okay, are you putting it in the courtyard?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Actually, let me do something real quick. Let me just fix something real quick. Come on. Work with me. Da, 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 da. I think, okay, good. Let me put you right here. And you can tell me yourself where on this courtyard you want your teleportation circle.
Oh god, I'm waiting for it too.
Eeg.
Yeah, it's a
Very
big
good.
map, I'm sorry.
Why are
I'm
you
waiting
bothered?
for it
It's
to
awesome.
load. Yeah, it's cool. I'm just trying. I'm trying to get it to load for me. I had to refresh roll 20.
As it happens.
Yeah, because it was. Everything ended up being blurry for a second.
Oops.
Come on, roll 20. Get with the program. Ooh, that's so cool. She'll make it right. Yeah.
Right there? Okay, let me get you a teleport circle.
Yeah, I'll just move her right. Yeah.
All right.
She'll literally eeny, meeny, miny, mo where she's gonna set up her circle.
I love that for her.
Comedy comes in threes.
It usually does, yeah. I'm just going to grab... Hoping that some of these are transparent. That one, no. Yeah, fuck it, I'll just grab... you. If you're not, I'll be like, whatever. Oh, that works.
Yeah.
Let me... God, you can barely see that.
That's fine.
There you go.
Woo!
There.
Yeah, she'll just be...
I'll put a little ping on it.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Little ping. That way you can kind of...
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That works best. There you go. There's your fucking
Yeah.
circle.
Yep.
So.
She'll just be going around with her chalk, just drawing it in.
Myria would explain to the dragons again that this is what's going on. We may not need the second thing.
As the dragons will kind of look a bit relieved when you say that. Just good.
Patience, like, pausing what she's doing. What'd you ask them?
Don't worry about it. We don't need it now.
It's for me to know, you to find out.
As this is all going on. Yes, you got your circle now set and ready to go. It starts to turn to evening, and the air gets more bitter with the cold, and that kind of pushes you all to go, all right, I think it's time for bed. Which you will find kind of this area over here would be where the barracks are. So you would kind of find the makeshift barracks where people spend the night and pick your beds out and settle down for the evening.
Gotcha.
Is there anything anyone's doing before bed? Because otherwise I'm going to roll a
Eating
die.
pie.
Eat your pie. It is warm. It is filling. It makes you feel rested and cozy.
Yeah.
I'm just before I sleep. We're doing this basically tomorrow, kind of like that.
We're bedding down for the night, so
No.
it's not tomorrow yet.
Yeah, but we're doing the thing tomorrow. Like we're
Yeah, so
using the
by
teleport
tomorrow,
circle.
you.
Okay.
So as it would have been explained, I will say you guys, as you're bedding down for the night, you kind of hear like a magical intercom system from the walls of the castle, and Blagothkis's voice comes through, telling you, by the morn of tomorrow, we should be arriving at the premises of Tiamat's well. Make sure to rise early, because when the time comes, we will begin.
Okay.
You hear like the squeaky speaker noises that closes the intercom. Like that awful like feedback noise
Yeah.
just goes through.
Ugh.
Cordelia's plan, I guess, is to are me and Tarsius sharing a room, or are we separate.
It's kind of like a soldier's barracks, so there's like just beds spread through like one room.
Oh, okay. So is that where we're sleeping?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the place that is considered more or less like the more people size, like the smaller sized rooms. Everything else is built more for giants.
Okay. Then I guess I will go to Tarsius. I will read him a book. Because that was what I guess we did when we were younger when Tarsius is stressed out, but if you really sense it, Cordelia is the one who's shaking. And then once that's finished, Tarsius kind of goes to bed. Cordelia will try to go to a corner. I don't know if anybody will be kind of looking at that, but she will go into a corner by herself.
Okay.
And she's just gonna look at her hands and kind of looking at like a little mirror because she's seeing some Oh, you okay, funny bone?
No, I'm good. I moved my elbow and I managed to paper cut my elbow on a card that I had sitting here. So I'm like,
Oh.
that was a feeling.
Yeah.
Ignore me. You're fine. Go ahead. That just startled me.
She'll go in the corner, look at like mirrors, like looking at her neck and face, like seeing some changes that's happening. She looks harder at her hands, and for some reason she saw it like her claws kind of grow a little bit, and then it retracts, and it's like, that's new. But she's trying to hide it from people if people are watching.
Okay. So roll me a stealth, and then if anybody is wanting to pay attention in the area, you may do so with a perception roll.
Cool.
What is my plus? Okay, I have a high. Okay,
16.
30-20 because I rolled really badly.
Okay.
I actually rolled
Okay,
badly,
so-
but that's our 30-20.
So dirty 20, so no patience.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
Damn. Anybody else wanting to roll perception, or
That is her business.
she's probably doing
Myria's
girl
got a
things.
21.
Okay, so
Oh,
Myria,
no.
you do notice.
Whoops.
you notice that the Tarsius and Cordelia, and to you, you're like, that's a bit of an odd pair. I've never seen a Minotaur and a Medusa, act like siblings. It's different. So your eyes kind of like watch them for a minute, and just kind of like watch them share this little familial bond as she's reading to him like he's like her little brother, even though he's like massive and obviously the older brother.
Mm.
But then she kind of like closes the book and they like bid each other goodnight, and Tarsius kind of like tucking himself up to his chin, even though his hooves are hanging out from the bed.
Yeah.
And it's like he like settles into the bed, and you hear the bed just like creak with each like setting, like it just like very noisily just settles in, and then he's like, all right, good night, and he like pulls the blankets up to his chin as he normally does, but you watch as the blankets like pop out of like the end of the bed and over his hooves. He's just kind of like hanging off this very small bed, but then just settles in for his nighttime. But then you see as Cordelia kind of like goes off into a corner, and she kind of sits by herself, and you watch as she's like looking at her hands, and you kind of like see her hands like tense slightly, and as she's watching, and you see kind of like almost like her claws like kind of like grow out slightly, and there's like a bit more of like a scaliness to her palms, like, and almost like kind of like parts of her body, like like where normally like you see flesh on people, like their joints, like their elbows and their knuckles, where for red-blooded folk, as you've seen, that you notice that there's like that splotchy redness, but for her you see it's like green. And with that, Cordelia, you wouldn't have noticed as you were watching your hands, but your snakes were just kind of like writhing around your head, a little antsy.
They look kind of more stressed than anything, or
Yeah, they seem a little more stressed, and they're kind of like reading into your anxiety as they're
Yeah.
kind of like slithering and coiling around your head, almost protectively in a way.
okay. I'll just kind of grab them, kind of like put them in my this, kind of cuddle with them on my shoulder. Basically, it's like, it's okay. I'm sure it's nothing. I'll say that in a whisper.
Okay. So Myria, you see all that.
Myria is just gonna kind of sigh. Look over at Tarsius. With the dragon hide that she has, that we got earlier, been able to have been like at least scraped and whatnot, so it could be used like a blanket and whatnot.
Yeah, in your time staying with Aunt Betsy, like while you were waiting for the castle, you would have managed to get it cleaned up enough.
She's gonna take out that blanket and put it over Tarsius because it's a 50-pound blanket
Oh, that is the
of dragon hide.
best weighted blanket ever.
So Tarsius now has a blanket that actually
For
fits
once?
him.
Yeah, like, oh, thank you.
For
ma'am.
once, your clothes are
Oh.
warm.
Yeah. He's
And then
sleep
she's
so good.
gonna fly quietly over to Cordelia
Okay.
and kind of like put a hand on her shoulder.
Yeah,
Alright.
because of her being kind of stressed out a little bit and has anxiety with what's happening with herself and with the upcoming war. When you put your hand on her, she's gonna freak out a little bit, and you will see a very slight change on her face.
Ooh.
It's more snake-like, and then it disappears kind of almost instantly.
Mary's gonna kind of smile softly and offer a hand and for a hug and whatnot, and just kind of sit there, be like, "It's rough coming into your own."
I will take the hug. She will do like a little side hug. But she will be like, "Do you know deities?"
It depends on
Are
what
you
you classify as a
familiar with
deity.
them? I don't know if she's a deity or anything, but do you know somebody named Dendar?
Would Myria know of Dendar?
You can roll me a religion with advantage because you know Beerus.
That makes it worse. 11.
Oh,
God.
no, okay. You would have caught pockets of conversation, like as in one of those when you and Beerus were like, catching up at like a party somewhere, and you kind of like ask him, what the fuck has he been up to, and he kind of like gives you like little like side stories here and there of like his adventures, and at some point he would have mentioned that he's been hanging out with this very greasy fellow who talks to snakes a lot. Talks about feeding them nightmares. Don't know what that's on about. It's not my business.
A snake who feeds on nightmares. That's all I know.
Yeah. More or less. And you know that the stranger is somebody who associates with them.
A snake who feeds on nightmares. At least that's all I know. You actually met another person, that Gracie Red Prick in Aunt Betsy's place, who
The one that
follows
came out
her.
of my bag of holding.
Yeah, he
Red
tends to do
Feller
that.
Stranger, I think.
Yep. That'll be the one. Same Gracie fuck.
Why is it always him?
You know, people have been asking that for centuries.
Bro's been around.
No one's ever gotten the answer to it.
Well, a few months ago, I think it's been months, I think,
About.
right?
It's
Yeah,
been about,
well,
yeah.
a few months ago, I was visited by this snake-like creature. Said name Stendar in my dreams. And that's when I felt the curse of the Medusa came back to me.
I mean, it seems like you have a bit more control at this point in time because you're not turning everyone you're looking at into stone.
For now. What if he gets stronger?
Then
That's
you'll
what
get
I'm
stronger.
scared.
Look at how
Will
far
I
you've
have
come.
will I have control over it? That's what I'm scared of.
I think that depends entirely on you. I mean, look how far you've come. Look how far you and your brother have come.
I'd hate to petrify him again.
I think you'd understand. But I
At
don't
least
think
part
you
of it.
will.
I hope not.
You're stronger than you think. And I'm fairly certain you've got more control than you're aware of. You're just letting your anxiety get in the way of it.
You know, I was told that by my Uncle Wes before. He's a smart fella.
He sounds like it.
Anxiety is a big word for West.
Power is one of those things that, while innate power is wonderful and freeing, it is also terrifying. And especially in a case like yours, where if you let down your guard, the worst could happen.
That's
But
true.
the thing with people who have powers like that, more often than not, and the ones who have the anxiety over the fact that they have said powers, they're the ones who are actually going to be able to control it, because they're not letting the power take over. They're the ones trying to take control. So if you work with the power rather than trying to just push it away and make it go away, I think it'll work out better for you in the end.
You're very smart.
I've been around for
You're
a
very
long time, little one.
She kind of smirks at that when she said "little one," but also, she knows what she meant by it. So she will just say, "Can I ask for advice?
Anytime.
I feel like I'm sure this is kind of different, but you're able to transform in some way, shape, or form, I guess,
Yeah.
with your giant rune or whatever that's called.
The giant's might.
Giant's might. How do you do that?
I'd love to say it was easy, but it's a lot of practice and a lot of getting thrown around by giants. It took many years to be able to learn it and be able to harness the power that the giants have. Your buddy Hawk over there, he went through a similar situation to be able to get his. It's a power that's given to us that is not our own, obviously, but we make it our own. You just have to find what works of that power for you, rather than trying to take the power and control it. Work alongside it. Look into it a little bit more, rather than fearing it. Maybe try and just embrace it a little bit. I'm not saying let loose fully until you have full control. You know,
That's
if you keep it stifled, it's never going to get any better.
That makes sense. I have a feeling that there's some kind of transformation happening with you.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm fairly certain most Medusas I've ever heard of were a bit more snake-like than you are. So that may be in your future, but who knows? It may be something that you can, as you said, change into and change out of at will later on.
Okay. Well, that is definitely very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm always here if you need advice. That's what I was for the fucking mangy slipper for a long time.
She will actually laugh, and you will see her shoulders kind of loosen up a little bit. Like she's not as tense.
There you are.
And she will give you a full hug. I know she's also kind of tiny, but not smaller. So
No one is smaller than Myria.
yeah. But she will give you the full hug, but because she's a little bit excited, she will give you a Tarsius hug. So a little bit tighter than usual, I guess. So
She's you, Rose.
she will take her bow and go to bed.
Have a good night.
Good night as well. Hopefully everything works out tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sure it won't, but we'll make do.
Sure it won't. That's a vote of confidence right there.
Plan working in D&D since when?
They're right. Since the hill giant. Because
Oh.
actually worked.
Oh, Tales of the Hill Giant, my favorite. Best plan ever.
Right. That actually worked.
Yeah, worked so well. I want you to know that when I was on the loot generator and I was having you roll from the list, you were 1 point away from a bag of devouring, and I'm like,
No.
Oh my god. Just put Tiamat
no.
Oh,
in.
Tiamat.
At least
I was like,
one hand.
yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. I'm like, we're gonna try to stick Tiamat in the bag of devouring, and I'm not about to fucking do that.
They're like, hey, Tarsius. You remember the Uncle West story?
Throw me.
The
I want
legends.
to throw me. Jesus. Oh god. That would have been great. Wes would have been so fucking proud of y'all.
You're right.
Alright. So as that moment comes to a close, Cordelia, you go to bed. Myria, I assume you're also taking your chance to go to bed as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to ask Hawk if he was going to do anything, but Sydney's occupied. So, Patience, is there anything that you're doing before you bed down for the night?
Don't believe so.
Okay. She okay?
Yeah, half the keys on her keyboard aren't working for some reason.
Oh.
Oh, yikes. That sucks. Oop. And she's back. Hello. No.
First, it was just the letter H.
Now it's the whole keyboard.
It's the letter C, it's the letter H, it's the backspace bar, but get this. If I try to type a capital H, it'll type capital H, but
Oh,
not lowercase h.
I have a spare keyboard if you want to use that.
Do it after a while.
Okay.
I just don't understand what's happening.
Hopefully it gets fixed. But, Hawk,
Only
is there
when the
anything that
person
you would be doing before bed?
Probably not. He's probably pretty focused on like making his peace with things. Like he knows that there's a really good chance that he's not going to walk away from what happens tomorrow.
Right.
And just making his mental peace as best he can with
Okay.
everything that's happening and everything that's going on, and then trying to sleep.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. One question I have for everybody. This might be a small giveaway, but I just want to know, when you go to bed tonight, are you sleeping? Are you dressing down for the evening, or are you falling asleep wearing your duds?
Myria's not taking off her armor.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, I don't wear armor, but
That is a seasoned warrior right there. Yeah.
No armor, weapon underneath bed.
Okay. All right. Cordelia.
Yeah, she'll wear her leathers.
Okay.
It's very uncomfortable, but we are going to war, so just in case, and then rapier under the pillow.
Okay. Hawk.
He's wearing his armor.
Okay. All right.
He doesn't want to have to worry about putting it back on in the morning.
That's fair.
And the added layer of something on in the cold is probably nice.
Yeah, that is also fair. It is a very, clammy place. So, okay. So as you guys kind of drift off to sleep one by one, each of you having your own respective dreams for the night.
Yeah.
What is something that you would be dreaming of? I'll start with Tarsius.
Tarsius. I think because of his anxiety, he probably would be dreaming of flying, because obviously flying in the camp.
Yeah.
And then everybody falling, and he's doing his absolute best to catch everybody, because putting too much bearing on himself. And then just this looming gargantuan head of this multicolored dragon, and then another head and another head. He's doing his best just to get everybody as they're all tumbling down, but he can't. And then overshadowing that is just Cormorant. He wakes up in a sweat and then goes back to sleep, and the dream picks up where it left off.
All right. Which the added level of fear to that is as you are trying to reach for your friends as they are falling, there are 5 of you. So naturally, there are 5 heads, 1 for each of you. As you go to reach for your sister, she gets snapped up by the green one. As you go to reach for Hawk, he gets snapped up by the blue one, and so on and so forth, until finally the red head just snaps onto you, and then you wake up again, and then you go back to sleep, and it's the same cycle over and over. Okay. Cordelia, what are we dreaming of?
So I'm dreaming. So you see basically some statues. You see statues,
Okay.
and you see basically, and then you see a snake kind of crawling in between
Okay.
those legs. And as the snake kind of get up and stand up in front of a mirror, you see the reflection. It is Tarsius, Patience, my party members, basically in the back, just statues. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and it's basically that. It's Cordelia. And because, Medusa looking in the mirror,
Yeah.
I start to freak out a little bit, and then I also kind of slowly start turning into stone. And because of that good therapy session she had just hours ago, she hears Myria's voice in her head say "control," and the petrification starts breaking. And I break out of the petrification, as also my friends in the back also break out of that petrification, and I wake up.
Okay. All right. So, next. Patience, what are we dreaming of?
I think for her it would be... It would start normal enough, just playing around with Gren and her family, pretty much back at that cabin that she lived in, and seeing everything again just get enveloped and engulfed in flames.
Okay.
And just basically that lingering feeling, just like after basically reliving all of that trauma again and waking up from that sort of a nightmare. It's that lingering feeling of you're going to have to face that boogeyman. That is literally what you are doing tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Hawk, what are we dreaming of?
He is. Okay, I'm not muted for once.
Nope. Congrats.
Right. He'd be dreaming. I feel like it would be kind of a mixed bag of things. Like, I almost feel like he'd be dreaming of, like, the way that things could go wrong and the way that things could go right. And just kind of, like, going back and forth and almost, like, I guess, like, fighting his own dreams, if you will. Like, something seems to be going right, and if it starts to try to go wrong, he's pushing back and trying to, like, fix things and make things better. And then there will be ones where, yes, there is just, like, painful, agonizing failure.
Okay.
But I feel like a lot of it will be, like... I think it would be kind of hopeful, like, he knows he's been preparing for the worst, but also, like, trying to dream up some things that he could look forward to. But again,
All right.
mixed bag.
Mixed
So.
bag. All right. Myria, what are we dreaming of?
She's probably dreaming of home and
Okay.
the Feywilds and her time with her troop.
Okay.
Yeah. Just memories and flashes of the past.
Okay. So, as you were all sleeping, dreaming, for some of you, the dreams kind of are already sour to begin with. There are some elements of what is on the horizon. Tarsius, you literally dreaming of the looming threat of Tiamat. Patience, you dreaming of more or less, you realize that it feels more like the memory of the day you were taken, as all you see is your house covered in fire. But and then others for Cordelia, with your anxiety, with your petrification and overcoming it. Myria, you dreaming of the memories of your past exploits and your troop and whatnot. And for Hawk, it's more of a kind of a it's more kind of contemporary in the way of you are trying to wrestle with what has happened so far and just dealing with the guilt of feeling like everything has been mucked up on your end through your own hands. And for those that didn't have the presence of the looming threat in their dreams, your dreams kind of start to gain shades and elements of that. Cordelia, the snakes that have been snaking through the gardens of the petrified people, you realize that each one is a chromatic color. For Hawk, your dreams kind of fall into, and for a moment, it's a memory of you trying to hammer something out at your dad's forge, and you kind of you mistempered the metal, and as you went to fix it, it just kind of snapped, and you kind of like messed up the shape of it. And when it comes to the expected, your dad's going to start yelling at you because now you cost him iron, and that's going to cost more money. But instead, as he's yelling at you, he's saying, "It's your fault. It's all your fault. If you hadn't come back, I would be here to fix this. But now I can't because you killed me." And as he's talking, his visage is becoming more dragon-like. Like scales are starting to grow from his eyes, from his around his eyes. And as you kind of look back and you're trying to shake yourself, it's a nightmare. You're trying to shake yourself from it, but then you see. Your eyes look to your house, and you see that it is just razed and gone with fire. For Myria, hello, goodbye. Had a cat jump up and then leave. So for Myria, you are having it's kind of more subdued on your end, as you are just kind of dreaming of a moment where it was a peaceful moment at camp. You're all kind of making camp for the day, someone is kind of stoking a small cook fire, and it's just kind of like a background conversation to you. You hear one of your fellow troops just go, "So we're facing the Dragon Queen today, eh? Shame. It's going to be difficult. Lots of blood."
Probably.
Well, as long as there's more of us than there are her heads, we'll be all right. Maybe. And it just kind of has that sense of of a lingering anxiety for what's to come. It's that stillness before the battle, that uncertainty that just kind of leaves everything unsettling. That you don't know what's going to happen. It's not going to be good, but it's hopefully not the worst. For Patience, when you dream of your cabin on your little cottage on fire, you notice you kind of look up to the smoke drifting in the sky, and you see this monumental figure kind of looming over the forest, bigger than anything, and you see that it is Cormorant, just completely alight with flame, burning hotter than any forge that you have ever seen in your life, as he's literally leaking fire from every part of his body. And he just kind of scoops up your cottage into his claws, and you see is everything that you're wanting to return to is just held aloft, and he closes his claws around the cottage as it just burns away to ashes. And he just, with a voice louder than thunder, "You will never run again." But as all of this is kind of reaching the peak of your dreams, there's also another entity watching from the shadows, from the very outer rim of your dreams, as you all kind of feel a coldness kind of brush through your mind, and there's a sigh, but it sounds dry and hollow, and that sigh turns into what sounds like the hiss of a massive serpent, as you will hear a gentle voice. You almost could barely miss it if you weren't listening close enough. But you will hear, "You have fed me well tonight, so I leave with a gift, because I hunger for so many nightmares that will transpire next. But I think you should wake up now. She's coming. She'll be here soon. She's going to stop you." And then you just kind of get the echo of "she's coming" just kind of drifting through your minds for a bit, until that voice transforms into Blagothkis's, as you are all awoken by the sound of his voice kind of crackling through the magic of the castle, as he's rousing you from your sleep, saying, "I need you all up. We have visitors." As you all quickly get up, get dressed, you've thrown yourselves out of bed, and you run into the courtyard. And let me get you guys. I got a layer check.
Layer check, bro.
Player check, bro.
So all of you would be coming from over here.
Yeah.
I would have been here. Gren is over here. Get over here.
Tall bitch in the back.
Like tall bitch in the back.
Mm.
You guys are over here. So as you guys all kind of like leave out of the barracks, you kind of rush into the courtyard. You are all immediately sober from sleep with the brisk chill of the higher altitudes. But you also notice like the sky is now glowing pink and orange from essentially where you guys are now, which is you are nearing the Skull Gorge, where the mountain range kind of begins for the Well of Dragons. But what you then see is leathery wings start to fly through the air as they basically crest over the castle's walls and into the courtyard. And you see quite a few things. First being the familiar sight, which is the eye drakes that you've encountered before back in your battle in Termish. Myria, this is like first time seeing these entities, and they are very disgusting to look at. Next, you see a few of the names that I forgot. They are the the Draconian Mage. Thank you, Fitzbins. You see 3 winged Draconian Mages also kind of alongside them. Then you see 2 Red Abishai kind of perched on the parapets to the courtyard, like on the main gate. And between them is the familiar figure of the Avatar of Tiamat, who is wearing the body of Helene Hawkins, dressed in chromatic armor with these large red wings, as she stands there looking down at all of you. And when she looks towards you, Hawk, she smiles, and it's so wrong to see her smile in such a cruel way. But as she speaks, Tiamat speaks through her, as she says, "I sense you have something of mine. If you give it to me now, I will make your deaths painless." But I take it that you're choosing to resist because you think you can stop me. And if that is the case, I will make sure that you were the first blood that I taste when my glorious body makes it into the material realm.
Good luck with that.
So, since it is time, that is where we're going to leave it for tonight. As you guys are about to start a fight with the Avatar Tiamat and hopefully get this castle to the well.
Hey guys, we totally forgot about the Avatar.
So what?
I said, hey guys, we totally forgot about the Avatar.
You did!
Yeah, that's fine.
Hawk remembered. Hawk
Hawk,
knew.
so,
Yeah,
Hawk so remembered.
Hawk, how could he forget?
Right?
Yeah,
My big sister.
So yeah, time to fight your baby sister.
Yep.
It is the dawn of the winter solstice.
Oh shit,
So-
we got a birthday party to go to
I was literally
tonight.
gonna say we got a birthday
Today-
party.
Yeah,
Dead.
it is the dawn of the winter solstice. Today is the day Tiamat will emerge from the well. So you gotta beat her, and then make it to Phoebus' 6th birthday party.
Yeah, we need to end this real quick.
Else.
Or else you will be written into my tragic backstory, because I play Phoebus in another game. It all started when no one came to my birthday party.
He says no one, like there aren't hundreds of people there, just missing 6.
Yes. A slight.
5 of 1,000 didn't show
Yes.
up, and how dare they?
It's like thousands of souls were forced to attend this party because this made them. But he's gonna be incensed because 5 people plus the dragon didn't show up.
Mhm.
Like, how dare you?
Oh,
But
okay.
Gentil did.
But Shanti probably did. So,
No
all right,
link.
we will end it there. We will pick this up in 2 weeks
Yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah.
It is the beginning of the end, y'all. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yay.
Woo!
Woohoo.
All right, so thanks
Right.
everyone for playing. Thanks for those that watched, and we will see you all next time. So,
Bye.
bye.
Videos.
Bye.
Bye.